Alright. I have to get my chat visible. Hang on one second, y'all. Why the fuck is the chat not working? Hello? Hello, chat? Why is the fucking chat box not working? Why are you using fucking... oh, right. It's not working because I haven't... Right, okay. No, it's not working because I had the stream set up last time where all the chat and everything was running off of my other PC. So I need to go over to Stream Elements and get the chat widget moved over here. 1 second, y'all. It wouldn't be a dog stream if there wasn't something scuffed happening. Here. Turn this over here a little bit. That way y'all can see me kind of working the white balance on my camera, fucking everything up. You know how it is. It's just one of those. Oh, right, my keyboard's unplugged. God damn it. Okay. Well. There we go. Okay. It's cool. It's fine. I have limited USB ports on this computer because it's a shitty little box. So I have to like copy fucking letters from the pre-set up URL that's in here. It's great. It's a good time. I'll eventually upgrade this streaming PC. Maybe if I end up making some money off of streaming someday, I'll put it towards upgrading the streaming PC. We'll see. For the kitchen at least. Because I don't need anything crazy. Like a $300-something PC would be more than enough if I built it myself. Oh, thank God I do have my YouTube account on here. I was terrified I was going to have to pull out my fucking phone and like do the whole sign-in deal on my fucking phone. Hell world. Well, anyways, we're making spaghetti today. In the title it says fresh pasta, and I have the fresh pasta over here. It's fresh pasta. It's fresh angel hair pasta, so we're gonna have angel hair spaghetti. But I made the pasta off stream because I can't really show it because it's all the way over there. I mean, I guess I could kind of point at it a little bit over there by the blinding sun that is our indoor grow bed. There's a fucking can you even see that when I pointed over there? Over there, like right to the left of the microwave. There's that is a pasta maker that we bought today at Goodwill because it was stupid cheap. That's like a $300 pasta maker, and we got it for like $40, which was really cool. Okay, I have the URL for the YouTube chat. It's not gonna have the funny chat bubbles that I have on the other stream computer, unfortunately. But you know, we do what we can. Right? No, that's fine. I keep forgetting I don't have a fucking keyboard on this thing, so I'm just kind of doing what I can here, you know. All right. Can somebody send something in the chat? I have to fix this live. I'm going to copy and paste fucking the dog champ that May sent in the chat. Oh. The computer's kind of freaking out a little bit also. It's not a fan of whatever's going on here. There we go. Okay. Why is it like... Why is it doing that? I have to manually update the height. This sucks. This is booty ass. Man, doing this without a keyboard sucks. This is rough. This is a raw deal. Does that fix it? Okay, it kind of does. Oh, fucking hell. I don't want to... You know what I'll do? I'll come over here, right? And then I'll just go up one. Copy. Paste. Can you not copy and paste in here? What? Come on. Oh, this sucks ass. So how's it going, gamers? I'm having to manually update the chat height on the stream computer. It's a great time. It's a good time in here. I think I'm going to bump it up to like 1,000. Also, if you hear stomping, that's our new upstairs neighbors. I hope you all enjoy the stomps because they're not going to stop. As much as I wish they would, they will not. Okay, does that get everything? Yes. Okay, we're free. Eating all the raw hair? What the fuck does that mean? Dog. Good fucking lord, that's stomping. What sucks especially here is like I have to manually fix all of this. This is as good as it's gonna get. I'll deal with the rest of this later. Okay, let's make some fucking spaghetti. So, again, we're doing. My finger is gonna be over this a little bit, but that's okay. So we're doing angel hair spaghetti tonight. Gotta get this. Okay, so. Angel hair spaghetti. Here's the pasta that I made myself with our funny pasta maker that's back there. I'm gonna set this over here. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some fucking pasta sauce. But before we make some pasta sauce, because I'm gonna make this pasta sauce. God damn, that was loud. In a cast iron skillet. But I don't know if it's visible on the camera. Yeah, it kind of is. So you see how it's kind of like shiny in some spots, but like in areas like right here-ish. All the areas that look kind of like different when it hits the light. This cast iron needs to be re-seasoned. Because we used it last night. And then cleaned it. Right? So I need to re-season. The tomato acid will kill the pan? Is that real? Is that real? I don't know if that's real or not. You should never cook tomatoes or other acidic... Oh, that's a myth. A well-seasoned pan can handle acidic food. Apparently. Well, hey. Well, we're about to re-season the cast iron. So, you know. For those of you who do not know how to season a cast iron skillet, more or less, all you have to do is get this thing, like, piping hot. And then you kind of just rub some oil into it and let it sit for a second, and then you repeat that once the oil sets, right? Ooh, okay. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, but pretty much all you do Some people prefer to do it in the oven. I prefer to do it on the stovetop because it works a little better. So, I already have my vegetable oil out. Perfect. So let's go ahead, we'll go ahead and just get this thing fucking ripping hot. I've seen people say that the best way to do it is to do it cold and then let it heat up to kind of cook the oil into the pan. All of this out here is still seasoned. Like everything on the outside effectively of this cast iron is still seasoned because I've been taking good care of it. But the inside has definitely gotten some wear on it. So, we're just gonna paper towel, rub that all around. And the important thing is it needs to go everywhere. There's gonna be a little bit of smoke because we just cleaned the stove. And I think these things are still like, the stove's a little wet still. But effectively, you just want that oil everywhere. And then you want to kind of like rub it in. You don't want the thing to look greasy, but you do want it to have like a shine to it. And that's important. And you want to just kind of repeat this process with like, I don't know, like a circle about that big of oil each time. And people who are like cast iron fanatics might fucking kill me for using paper towels, but you know, it's fine. The important part is that this gets re-seasoned because not seasoning your cast iron can actually damage it. Because the seasoning is what protects it against the fucking, the cast iron from getting damaged. So, just keep on doing this. The important thing is that once it gets, like, hot, it needs to take breaks, right? But once this thing gets real, real hot, it definitely needs to start taking breaks between seasoning. The important thing is you don't want any pools of oil, because anything that like pools up will fuck up your seasoning process. And nobody wants that to happen. And I think there's a little bit of excess still around the rim, but I'm going to be using this tonight, and then I'll re-season it again tomorrow. But, yeah, this is good. You can kind of see those spots are not as prominent anymore, and it's got like a nice shimmer kind of like all the way across. And that's kind of what we're looking for. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm not a cast iron expert, but if you're like a home chef like me, this is more than enough to kind of get you through. So, also for the sake of the stream and for brevity, I'm kind of taking it a little short, but this is fine. Like, this is perfectly a-okay. So, first thing we're going to do, now that our cast iron is ripping hot, is I have some fucking ground beef over here. Some just a pound of ground beef that we're just going to drop right into this fucking bitch. Which was perfect that we got this thing ripping hot. You can see it's starting to smoke a little bit. I am going to turn it down some now that it's nice and hot. We're just going to drop this beef right the fuck in here. Listen to that sizzle. That's what we want. And then we want to get a wooden utensil of some kind and get that moved around. So you can already see we're getting some browning on here. We want like a nicely browned ground beef. Get the good sounds. Need to get, I don't have a spoon protector. Do I? No, okay, that's fine. I'll just grab a bowl that I'll use later. So, yeah, we're just going to let this cook. I'm going to go ahead and grab out, let's see, So, I'm going to get... I prefer to do this with like real tomatoes, but what I have on hand right now are 2 cans of pasta sauce or spaghetti sauce like this that I'm going to kind of make my own with some extra ingredients and everything. I don't believe... Oh, I do have an onion over here. I think I also have an onion in the fridge. Don't I? Maybe I used that. Oh well. But we'll skip out on the onions today. But normally I do cook this with like some onions mixed in. Like once the ground beef starts to brown a little bit, I mix in some diced onions. And, you know, but we're just kind of going right now. Now what you do want to do is that once this starts getting like mostly brown, starts to crumble a little bit, and you have all this nice like fat around in here, once it starts getting to the point where the beef is almost done, we want to toss in some minced garlic. Probably like, maybe like 2 cloves worth. Not a ton. I'm a little baby bitch, and I personally prefer to have, I think I showed this on stream last time too, but I like this shit. I like the giant ass tubs of minced garlic because it's easy. And honestly, there is a difference in the flavor between that and actual fresh garlic, but it's like it's still garlic, you know. And if you're trying to cook like quick and easy meals, honestly, I think this is like an extremely quick and easy meal. This is going to be like maybe an hour and a half stream at most, depending on, you know, how long certain things take. But normally with stuff like this, especially if you make the sauce beforehand, you can like cook this in like 20 minutes. If you want, you can also use like, I have a jar of it under here that I don't know why we have this specifically, but you can use like jarred pasta sauce and do this as well, and just add some seasonings to kind of bring it up to whatever your taste might be. You can do that as well, and that honestly makes the process way faster. I would still say if you're doing like jarred sauce, brown your ground beef, and then you know, brown your ground beef, mix in the garlic, and then once you drain out the fat, you can go ahead and just mix it all together with your jarred pasta sauce, and season it, and you're off for the races. Alright, so beef's almost done. I'm gonna crack open my garlic. And again, we're looking for like 2 cloves-ish. I believe the measurement for like pre-minced garlic is like half a teaspoon is 1 clove. So we're just going to put in 1 kind of heaping teaspoon and seal this back up. Here soon, sometime within the next coming Good Treat streams, as I mentioned it before, but like the light of God that's back there, that's off camera, the little grow bed we bought, has like basil and stuff in it. We just bought that today. We actually got it at the same place we got the pasta maker, and they were both like stupid cheap. Seriously, Goodwill is amazing for appliances, y'all. If you're not like shopping for appliances at Goodwill, you're fucking missing out. You could probably retrofit something like this to grow weed. I don't know, maybe. I feel like the grow beds are like a little too small to start a weed plant, but I don't really know how big those things get. It's possible. You could do that. The cool thing is that here in Washington State, as well, you're like legally allowed to grow like 1 to 2 weed plants per person, I think. I think you have to have a card for it or something like that, but as long as you're not like distributing it, you're allowed to have a couple, which is cool. I don't remember the specifics on that. There's a subreddit for dudes who grow weed in like those big gallon plastic buckets in their closets. Yeah, weed could probably grow anywhere, honestly. Alright, so this is looking great. This is about where we want it. What I'm going to do, I have a bowl in the sink, and I'm going to strain the ground beef through like a fine mesh sieve to get all that oil out, or at least most of it out. How hot is this? Can I pick this up yet? No. Okay. Where's my... Here we go. I can pick it up by the handle, I just can't pick it up by this side. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to strain it. Never strain oil down the drain, y'all. It will fuck up your plumbing. It's okay to be a little lazy sometimes, but seriously, try not to do that too often. Like, it will come back to bite you in the ass. So seriously, always, always, always strain into a bowl. Oh, God. Strain into a bowl, and then once it's cooled down, you could just scrape it into the trash, or, you know, if you're the type of person that likes to do stuff like that, you could store it in a jar. So, now that we got this going, I'm going to crack open one of my tomato sauce cans, and I'm just going to add in, like, a little bit. Not all of it yet, but a little bit of it. Because we're going to get this kind of mixed up into kind of like a paste, right? Kind of like a tomato beef paste. And this is the part where it's going to start smelling really fucking good. Because, like, tomato and beef just play really well together. And especially with the garlic and everything in there, it's good. It's great. So, we're going to go ahead and season this now. I'm going to put in some seasoning salt. About, like, tablespoon and a half-ish. Some pepper. I use freshly ground, so I'm never really sure what the measurement is. I think like maybe like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Like a tablespoon about of black pepper. But really it's up to taste for these two. Excuse me. I like to put in like a quarter of a teaspoon-ish. Like not very many of red pepper flakes. You can go a little less if you don't like things like super spicy, but I'm going to go a little less heavy-handed today on these. Normally if I don't add onions, I'd add onion powder, but I'm out of onion powder right now. Let's see. And then the last thing that we want to add, after we stir this up, kind of get this going, is and I don't remember if this is the step that's like sacrilegious or whatever, but honestly proper Italians can suck my cock and balls. Some fucking sugar. Tomatoes are acidic, so like a little bit of sugar goes a long way in tomato sauce recipes. Probably like 2 tablespoons ish. Now, once we get this all mixed up and get it going, we can go ahead and add in the rest of our tomato sauce. You can see that everything's like nice and really incorporated together. It's not like very soupy. It's just very much like sauced beef. Like there's not like a pool of sauce underneath it. It's just the beef and the sauce have mixed together. And now that we have that, we can just add, you know, the rest of that can. And we'll see if this is enough. I'm pretty sure I got 2 cans out because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need 2 cans for how much pasta I have. But I could be wrong. I think this might actually be enough, considering we're doing like 3 servings-ish. I'll kind of let the other people in the house weigh in the chat if they want me to add more or not. That's really up to you two. Personally, I think this is fine, but that's just me. Like this looks like plenty. This is enough for each of us to have like a couple of scoops of this to ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and turn this down. So I like to like medium low heat. If you have a numbered stove, like 4 or 5, or between 3 and 4 usually. It's like right on the cusp of being low. Because we don't want this to cook down too much. And now, grab a tiny pan. Where's my small pan? Is it in here? Yes, it is. Because I have little handmade bundles of pasta, this might be an even shorter stream than I expected, honestly. Because homemade spaghetti, it's a fast meal, y'all. Like, homemade spaghetti is not a process. If you have to make the spaghetti by hand, or the pasta by hand rather, it's a much more intensive process, but honestly, it's not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and crank this over here onto high. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can kind of see both of these a little bit. Just a tad, you know? But yeah, we don't want this to like simmer too much. I'll actually... Hey dear, can I borrow you real fast? I'm going to get Miyuki's expert opinion on if this is enough sauce for all the pasta tonight, because I'm not making a ton. Is this enough sauce for all the pasta, you think? Or should I use the second can? Because we're only making that much pasta. Is this enough for us to have like 2 scoops each?
Yeah, that should be enough.
Okay, perfect. So, now what we want is we want for this pasta water here, I'm going to go ahead and salt this. Especially with fresh made pasta, salting your water is really important, because it adds a little bit extra flavor to the pasta that you do get in boxed pasta, because I'm pretty sure they don't expect everyone using boxed pasta to salt their water. But, yeah. I am, just to, you know, not waste anything, I am going to swish some hot water around in this can of pasta sauce I just used, just to get all the goodies out of there, because there was like a good little helping of pasta sauce still at the bottom, and that'll add a little extra. Alright, now we can go ahead and mix this all together, and now we will kind of get that nice, like, kind of soupy pasta sauce rather. It's got like some nice like body to it. And what else we're going to do is once we cook some pasta in this pasta water, we're going to use that salted pasta water to add a little bit more body to this sauce. But I'm going to taste this real quick for seasoning. That is fucking fantastic. It's a real simple pasta sauce. It's just tomatoes, meat, garlic, sugar, and then a couple of like extra seasonings. Stupid easy to make. I'm going to go ahead and put this other can back. And I think something else I really want to show here on Good Treats is that making really nice food doesn't have to be a process. Like, You can make good food knowing literally nothing. Gotta find something in here to get the pasta out once I'm done with it. I think most people use like a big fuck off fork, like one of these guys. So I might use this. We'll see how it goes. But I need something to kind of stir the water around with this a little bit, you know, get that salt distributed that's sitting at the bottom. Turn this down a little more because this should not be boiling like it is right now. It needs to be on like a very mild simmer at most. It shouldn't be like bubbling like that. But the thing with cast iron pans is that they hold a lot of heat, so even on like low temperatures they will keep cooking stuff as they retain a lot of that excess heat they had before. So I think for now, I'm going to turn this off. And what we want is we want this to come up to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm going to drop one of these nests of pasta in. And then they're going to cook for like a few minutes. This is a question to the other housemates in chat. Would y'all be opposed to the pasta going straight into the sauce after it is like I finish cooking it in the sauce? Do you think Italians lay their young in pasta nests? They probably do. Okay, so we have one neutral, and I'm waiting on Miyuki's response. I don't know if Miyuki's in the chat or not. Ooh. I'm crunchitized. Think it would be alright? Okay, cool. Put the pasta and sauce straight into you. You got it, Chief. It's coming straight down the fucking internet pipeline right to you. Here it comes. Hang on. Hold on, gamers. Home-cooked meal coming straight up. I hope this is plenty. Okay? Alright, you got that? Right? Okay? You got that? Here's the fucking pasta. There you go. I hope you enjoyed your meal. Just a whole ass fucking nest of pasta and then a spoonful of sauce. But yeah, the important thing is that this water is like hot and ready when we put this pasta in here, because we want it to cook, we don't want it to soak. Especially with fresh made pasta, they're very, very, I guess fragile is the right word. Like they will soak and dissolve because they're just, it's literally just flour and eggs and a little bit of water. So if they sit in water for too long, they'll get really soggy, and especially with a thin pasta like angel hair, it'll just disintegrate. And we don't want that to happen. We want this to cook, and then we want to toss it over here into the sauce. So that's what we're going to do. I only grabbed a small pan, so I'm going to have to cook each of these nests individually and then move them over to the sauce. But I think it'll be okay. I probably should have started boiling this water like while I was making the sauce. That would have been the smart thing to do. But I'm not a smart man, so that's okay. God damn. God's crunchiest creature. Just over here stretching because I'm fucking sore. I don't know what I fucking did, but my legs are so sore. Oh. But the nice thing about this at least this pasta sauce recipe, is you can make way extra, and then you can save the leftover sauce and use it for another dish. If you are making extra of the sauce, don't don't put the pasta in it. Just kind of finish the pasta in the water, put it in a bowl, and then put the sauce right over it. You won't get as much of the sauce flavor because it won't be finishing cooking in the sauce, but that way, you know, you have a proper sauce left over that won't get absorbed by like the weedy pasta. Just something to keep in mind, really. Our water is about to start boiling, so we're almost done, y'all. We've only been streaming for 40 minutes. We're almost done. This is such an easy process, especially if you have a pasta maker. Like making 3 of these guys, 3 servings of these guys in the pasta maker I have took like 10 minutes. It was so easy. If you have to make pasta by hand, having done it, I don't recommend it. I think I actually did that on an old cooking stream from like 2018 once. We made fresh raviolis, and they were delicious. But making that pasta dough from scratch by hand with no machinery whatsoever, with like a rolling pin and everything, you gotta have some strength for that. It sucks. It is a bad time, especially if you're like kind of weak like fucking I am, or you're like out of shape, I guess is the better way to put it. It's not fun. It's a bad time. 100% recommend a pasta maker, even if it's just one of those little countertop ones. Like that still, you know, that still requires a lot of effort. One of the little ones you gotta like crank. I have one of those as well. Still easier than making it by hand. Even if that fucking thing broke after one use, it was still easier than making it by hand. Alright, I think we're about ready to go. It is, I salted it so its boiling point's a little higher. This is, you know they're in the kitchen cranking 90s on the pasta maker, yeah. Yeah, this is coming up to a simmer. Which is about the boiling point of water without salt, I believe, heat-wise. So we should be good to drop in one of these nests and... excuse me. We should be good to drop in one of these guys and get going. I'll give it a couple more seconds to come up to like a full simmer. Because part of the thing that kind of like separates these like clumped up pasta nests is like the movement of the boiling water. That's why I'm so hesitant to put it in, even though I really want to. Because I know it'll cook, but whether or not it clumps together and everything, because it doesn't have that movement kicking it around, you know, is a different story. Oh, God. I believe... My oil has cooled down. I'm just going to dump that straight in this garbage. The grease has been disposed of properly. And now all we got to do is cook our fucking pasta. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be a tasty, nutritious meal. Some other stuff you can do, obviously I said at the start, I subbed out onions out of this because I didn't want to cut them up. I'm kind of just trying to do a quick meal tonight. If you want to, you can also cook some mushrooms in the sauce. Mushrooms and tomato sauce are always good. You can like fry some mushrooms and put them on top if you want to. Honestly, like, pasta sauce is kind of like one of the most customizable things in the world. There's a lot of shit you can't really fuck up a pasta sauce unless you burn it, or you like, you know, either you burn it or like you fuck up like the actual tomatoes. But even then, like, most traditional pasta sauces are just, you toss some fucking tomatoes in a pot with their juices, and then you fucking season that shit and let it cook for like 6 hours. So like, you know, even if you do fuck up a pasta sauce, there's usually always a way to save it. Unless you're doing something like really dumb. Like something you're not supposed to be doing, like dumping fucking flour in there or something. Alright. Water's boiling. I'm going to drop one of these bad boys in. And just let them start moving, you know? I'm going to get... I know I have a little... I know I have a spaghetti fork in here. Yeah, here we go. I just want something that I can actually use to kind of nudge this guy around in here and unwind him a little bit. You know, get him going. I guess at the very least this will be a test of how good the fresh pasta from this pasta maker actually is. So, you know, we'll see. And fresh pasta especially, it doesn't take long to cook. That's one of the really nice things. It takes like maybe 2 minutes most. But for stuff like angel hair like this, it'll probably take less. Just because it's such a thin pasta. And we are gonna finish it in the sauce, so that is something else to be aware of. It is kind of still clumping together a little bit, which is a bummer in some of like the drier areas I'm noticing. But you know, I'm trying to do my best to encourage it apart as it cooks, you know. Because the last thing anyone wants is like clumpy pasta. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like unclump it some. And you can see it's already kind of starting to look halfway decent. I definitely don't want to cook it all the way. I want it to be like slightly undercooked because I am going to transfer it from here to there once it's like most of the way cooked. But I'm just going to kind of let it sit for a minute or so. But yeah, stupid easy recipe, even easier if you're using like dry pasta, because you know then you don't have to fuss too much about making the fresh pasta and making sure it's like perfectly al dente and everything, and making sure you don't damage it like I'm pretty sure I have. Like I'm pretty sure some of this is like fucked up by me kind of coaxing it apart, but you know, we do what we must in the dog kitchen. I'm still doing my best to kind of separate some parts of this that are clumping together, but I think some of it might be a little bit of a lost cause. I don't know. Let's pull out a strand and see how we're doing. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of transfer this over best I can, because it's just about ready. Make sure I get as much of it as I can, because again, if it sits in the water for too long, it will get sogged up and gross. But you can see, like, it's... Normally you would have like a nice consistent bundle of pasta, but mine's definitely broken apart some from me like coaxing it and making sure it doesn't stick together too much. We're gonna go ahead and drop in our next one. I'm gonna see if I can like unwind this a bit. That way it doesn't wholly clump together, but we'll see. Oh God, I'm sorry if y'all can see my fucking stomach, but I need to stretch for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna mix this pasta up into the pasta sauce so that it can finish its cooking process in here, get like plenty of that saucy goodness in it. But look at that. That's like beautiful looking. And we got plenty of pasta sauce left to, or plenty of pasta rather, to drop in here. So let's see if I can like separate this little bit. I think that's like stuck together on the end from where I cut it when it was cooking, or not cooking, when it was coming out of the pasta maker. But it looks great. It looks fantastic. Broken pasta is still tasty. Exactly. I am a little more worried about this one because this is like the driest out of the bunch. So I'm most worried about this one like actually separating like it should. It seems like it's doing okay, but you know, that's the anxiety of cooking, is sometimes you really just don't know. I don't have any doubts that this one will come like apart like it should, but you know. Ooh. We'll just kind of let the water do its thing and let him make some fucking pasta. My legs are so sore, y'all. I'm trying my hardest to be tough, but goddamn, I made sure I was like wearing shoes and everything because my feet are sore too. Sorest dog known to man. Oh, I get the feeling that this one might cook into like a big lump. That's a worry. I'm gonna try to like kind of coax it apart a little bit in the pan. Oh yeah. There we go. We're kind of separating a little bit now. I'm gonna grab a fork and kind of just gently try to separate this pasta because it's being a little stubborn. You know, get like some spaces in there where it like opens up so that it can kind of naturally separate itself. Like, clumpy pasta will still taste good, it'll just be, you know, less thoroughly cooked, which is a bummer. This pasta also has been sitting out for like a couple hours, which is also, well, not a couple hours, like maybe like an hour at this point. I just kind of figured it would be fine since I still made it fresh, like right before the stream. But we'll see. I'm sure it'll be okay. God damn though. Oh, this is cooking a little too fast now. Oh god. A little bit of water go down the wrong pipe. Woo. I'm just gonna give this a stir over here to make sure it doesn't like burn or anything, because it is cooking. It smells amazing, to be 100% honest. You know, it smells great, so I'm happy with that part at least. But I am definitely worried about this pasta nest I have in here right now, because it's not really separating like at all. Like y'all can kind of see when I lift it up, it's like lumps still, which is, I'm worried about that, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm gonna keep trying to gently coax it apart while it's cooking, you know. The more I do that, the more likely I am to, you know, separate it like I am. And hey, I guess this is a good point to say again. I'm a fucking home chef, so not everything I make comes out perfect, and that's okay. An important thing to know about cooking, especially, is you have to fail to learn lessons to succeed. So sometimes you'll have stuff that doesn't quite look perfect, but still tastes really good. And that's cooking, baby. Look at that. It is definitely kind of separating now. Now that I'm like trying to coax it apart. I think the best thing to do on my next attempt would definitely be to like dust it with some flour while it's coming out. um, you know, work on keeping it separate. But so far, turning out pretty good. I am going to go ahead and transfer this bit over to the sauce as well, because it can finish cooking over here, and some of the oil and stuff from the other pan might kind of help coax it apart a little bit as well. But it is definitely a lumpy man. It's definitely got some funky lumps in it. You know, but that's alright. So we got one more lump of pasta left to cook. I'm going to go ahead and stir this in real quick while the water comes back up to a nice boil. Oh yeah, that's already starting to separate in the sauce. That's good. And if this needs a little bit more liquid too, we can always add some more pasta sauce, but I think this should be fine. The main thing we want to make sure of is that all of this, oh my goodness, is that all of this cooks to a good temperature. And we're going to drop in the last pasta nest. Ooh, see if this one fares any better than the last two. You're downloading my spaghetti? Don't do that. That's fucked up. You wouldn't download a noodle. That's fucked up and evil. You would and you are try to stop you. First time building up your vibes over the past several years. First time experiencing the new caves and stuff in the survival setting. Oh, and like the Minecraft updates. Yeah, the new caves are great. Honestly, best part about those updates really is the new caves. Oh, this clump of pasta is definitely not the best out of all of them. This one's falling apart. Uh-oh. I think this had like a lot of the egg in it, so this one's kind of like falling apart some. Oh boy. And you can see it's very odd texture-wise, this one, but that's okay. Ooh. Yeah, it seems like the fresh pasta part of this is turning out to be a bit of a bust, but that's okay. Like, it's still gonna turn out. Which is the nice part, is that I'm positive that this is going to taste good, because it's like, it's pasta. It can't, you know, the texture might be a little funky, but it's not going to taste awful. These are honestly kind of reminiscent of like pho noodles, kind of. I'll test one of these. Yeah, that tastes great. And the nice thing is that since it's angel hair, if it's still a little thick, that's fine. Because then it'll be comparable to like a spaghetti noodle. So this turned out okay. I'm going to go ahead, these are cooked. I'm going to go ahead and transfer these over. And then as a final little coup de grace on the sauce, we're gonna pour in some of this pasta water. And we're gonna give this sauce like a nice extra bit of body. Because like the starch and the salt from this water will definitely kind of amp up the sauce a little bit. Alright. I'm just going to dump in like a little bit. Like not too much, but like maybe like half a cup. Like about what you'd get from like a ladle full. And then we're just going to mix this bad boy all together. And I'll go ahead and turn the camera back over here so y'all can see what's going on. But yeah, like a ladle full of pasta water, and then just kind of mix it all around, incorporate it. And then you got yourself some fucking spaghetti. There are definitely like some pretty thick chunks of noodle in here. I'm going to let the pasta kind of cook a little bit more in this sauce. So I'm going to, like, you know, let it finish cooking in the sauce so that it gets a lot of that, like, nice tomato flavor and everything in the pasta. But, yeah, really, really easy, you know, kind of sometime throughout the week meal or whatever. Really easy to make. Easier if you kind of skimp out a little bit and use like dried pasta, but delicious all the same. I think next time I make this I will use just normal spaghetti noodles. Like I'll make just normal spaghetti noodles. Because I think the thickness will definitely help them not stick together as much as these are. I think angel hair has like a different preservation method. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the rest of this for some easy cleaning later. And then there we go. We got some fucking pasta. Go ahead and grab me a bowl out of the dishwasher and we'll give this a taste test real quick. A delicious spaghetti. Yeah, we'll give this another stir around. And you could see like all that pasta water that was like acted kind of soupy before has been like absorbed. And we have like a nice consistent pasta. I'm going to go ahead and crank this off because the heat from the cast iron will finish cooking this. But we'll get like a nice like little tiny scoop to taste on the stream. And then I'm gonna go and fucking eat dinner. Get like a nice... My spaghetti test is if I can get a fork twist. Right? If I can get like a fork twist, I've succeeded. Yeah, okay. That works for me. Got a nice little fork twist there. That's some damn good fucking spaghetti. It's got some heat to it because of the red pepper flakes we added. It's like very rich. And like all the little chunks of beef are just a nice little extra texture in there. That's good shit, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I think that's gonna do us for the stream. It was a short one today, y'all. Only like an hour. I hope y'all enjoyed the cooking stream. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go eat some dinner and chill out for the night. I will see y'all. I believe tomorrow's an off day. I forget. I think tomorrow's an off day. It might be an on day. I'll double check the schedule again, but I will see y'all either tomorrow or Friday, whichever day is the next stream day. And yeah, thank you all for coming in. I'm gonna go eat some fucking spaghetti. Bye, y'all. Bye, everyone. Oh.